Welcome back to More Sip the Tally, and I'm your host here, Coach Evans. And today we're going to talk about C.J. Stroud, number 7 for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And one of the first things that I found out about C.J. Stroud, aside from his talent football-wise, was he took some of his NIL money and bought the entire team suits so they would be fly on their trips. That right there was an A1 move to me. And, just off that alone, I salute you, C.J., for doing that for your teammates. But let's talk about his stats before we get into the film. Now, I have a whole sheet of clips that I could have pulled from the 4 games that I watched from C.J. Stroud. It was a pleasure to watch this young man deliver the football. And I had only seen a little bit of C.J. In the Georgia game and a little bit of the Michigan game. But going back and watching his tape, starting with Notre Dame and then working my way up, even though I only judged 4 games, but I started with Notre Dame. His development, and not to say he was bad, but to see him from game 1 versus Notre Dame versus the last game versus Georgia, man, masterful, had his best game versus the best team in the nation. And if it wasn't for one of his top guns going down, potentially could have beat them. I had it was a pleasure to watch this film, and I'm ready to bring you C.J. Stroud. Let's talk about the stats real quick. 3,688 yards as a junior, 41 TDs, which was second in CFP, I think, only 6 interceptions. And I pulled a bunch of other stats from PFF since we all like PFF, but I left them on my desk at work, so I'm not going to give them to you. But going forward, there'll be a few PFF stats in there. I'll make sure I warn you before I spit them out because you can or cannot put stock in them. But let's get into the film. All right, before we get into CJ's film, we got a few housekeeping things we need to do. If you have not done so, please like this video. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when this content drops by hitting the bell. Without further ado, let's dive into C.J. Stroud, number 7, Ohio State. Window throws. And this is, it was some big boy throws in this game, and I started to see them in this Penn State game. You're going to see the concept right there. You're going to get the vertical by number 2. You're going to get the crossing by number 3. And you're going to get the dig by the number 1 guy. Really, they just running the basic. I mean, not the basic, the dagger concept. The dagger concept with the 2 guys up top, with these 2 guys up here. And you'll see how he fits it between 3 people. 3 guys, kind of in the area. He just threw it in the window. Just threw it in the window. I'm sorry, not throwed it. Threw it in the window. Kind of like flew it out, huh? Just threw it in the window. Just hit that triangle amongst all those guys over the linebackers in front of the safety and out of the reach of the corner. And that's just understanding where the receiver is going to be and what windows are open and just hitting in that window. Look at that gap right there. Amongst 3 people. And there were other throws, that he made throughout the season leading up to this. But when I got to this game, that's when I realized, oh, this dude different. Like, for real different. Let's go to the next one. Just the touch and traffic right here. Got a little goal line mesh. And a lot of stuff crossing your face and whatnot. And it's coming out because they're probably bringing pressure. And just the perfect touch. Look, and I see right there in his face, you got these 2 cats crossing. You got these coming across too. And he just drops it in front over these people. But to his receiver that he just can keep going in stride. That's perfect. That's perfect placement. And again, it's a lot going on the goal line, especially with the mesh. But he had perfect accuracy as far as placement and touch on that throw. It's a big boy throw right here. And this is one of my favorite concepts. 3-man scat, 3-man snag. And you see you get your little sit-down route by number 2. You're going to get your corner route by your sit-down route by number 1, your corner by number 2, and your bubble by number 3. And this is one of the plays I love to death. But again, and I love it because it gets open against a lot of coverages. And the way they tried to switch it out, the ball should have came to this guy. But it didn't. C.J. Stroud took the one-on-one with the corner route, and watch where this ball is placed. Just watch the ball placement. Yeah. And he might have got 2 feet down. But you can see it better from here. Footwork is top notch. Look at that ball placement. You can't put that ball in a better spot. You can't put it in a better spot. Let's back it up a little bit. Look where his ball at. See if I can get one frame. Contested throw. Where only his guy can get it. That's a big boy throw right there. Deep ball placement. So you're throwing a go route up top. On the far hash. Look at that. Look where that ball is placed. Only his guy can get it. And it's still in bounds. Only his guy can get it and in bounds. And again, these aren't fluke plays. These throws are the norm for this kid. Footwork's great. Arm talent's good. Pocket presence is probably his best attribute. Deep ball placement. Man, and he doing against Michigan, who made it to the college football playoffs, and versus Georgia. We hadn't even got to the Georgia part yet. And watch him work through his progressions on this one, and you'll see it better from the back view. But what I really like about it is, he goes through his progressions, and one's not there, two's not there. He comes back to the other side, and he doesn't just fling it out there with his own. He gets his feet set to throw that side. His feet are not one way and throw them back the other way. And you finna see it here. That whatever's number 1 and 2 is on that left side is not open. Right now he decides to go to check down. Look at him reset his feet. He resets his feet to come to this right side and makes a good throw to the running back. And that's all you want. You just want good fundamentals. And he definitely has good fundamentals. His footwork, again, is off the chain. Extending plays. This is another thing with his pocket presence. He can get out there and extend plays. Watch this clip come back. Dime. Dime. Outside the pocket. And he potentially probably going to go to a team that has lineman issues. So he's going to be able to have to get out of the pocket and throw in the run some. And probably a lot. Dime. But if you can do it with accuracy, it's another more of what you can do, the more valuable you are. Touch pass. Oh, I love this pass. Even though this pass cost him the game, it's not his fault. Not his fault at all. That ball should have been caught. But when you see it from the end zone view, this ball was placed perfectly. He just fumbled the bag. The tight end or number 8, whoever that is. This is a perfectly thrown ball to me. Pump fake that. Get it up, over. Bam, that ball hit you in your hands, man. Got it over the linebacker in front of the safeties, between the safeties, and you just screwed the bed. That's a great throw by C.J. Stroud. One of the better throws in all of watching his games to me. Now let's get to the Georgia film. We got what? How many we got from Georgia? Got a few from Georgia. And again, the best team in the game, and he showed out. The pocket presence. When I say showed out, he was cutting up before 18 got hurt. Just watch. Got the play action. Got the blitz coming. I'm just going to step up, anticipate it, set my feet, and throw across my body. Throwing accurately across my body, which we don't recommend you do, but you may have to do that some in the NFL. You may have to do it. Let's go back and look at it again. Sees the stunt coming, already steps away from it, sees the leverage by his lineman, and gets the throw off. He saw the leverage by 55 and stepped behind 55 and set his feet and threw the ball. And it's a whole season of him doing things like this. Another extending plays. And you got to extend plays because Georgia coming. Georgia coming. Nobody's open. Directs his receiver where to go in the midst of all that, and it makes an accurate throw. Yeah, nobody's open. Nobody's open. Still nobody. Look where his feet at, though. His head has come back to the left side, and so has his feet. All right, now I got to move. Now he's pointing to, what's the kid name? Harrison Jr., where to go. And throws it from the 38-ish with a guy in his face, dying. Dying. I enjoyed watching this so much. So much. No, just him extending plays. Because Georgia coming, made him miss. Step up, dying. In the Madden world, they call these dots. Jalen Carter, nope. That's Jalen Carter now. Probably one of the best projects, if not prospects, if not the best prospect in the draft. That he made look kind of crazy. Just gonna sidestep him. Didn't panic. Sidestepped him, didn't panic. Set his feet. Died. Yeah, extending plays. Extending plays. Look, nobody's right there. The IQ to just throw it to the open spot. His guy went and got it. While avoiding all that pressure. And again, he probably going to go to a team that O-line ain't the greatest. So he going to have to be able to do these. In order for them to have success, he going to have to be able to do stuff like this. Look, and he's still in the pocket now. He finally gets out. Still looking downfield. Touchdown. It's crazy, but it is crazy how all these balls to 18 though. That's wild. That is wild. Here again. What a throw. Similar to the throw versus Michigan where the tight end screwed the pooch. Watch the ball, the touch, the accuracy and the touch. He threw it to the running back right there. He just lobs it over there. Takes something off of it. Perfect placement. Perfect placement. And 10 finishes. It's a good job of finishing it by 10, but that's perfect placement on the ball. I love how you can kind of see him kind of guide the ball over that number 10. Just guide it over him. And it's going to turn over and drop right before the safeties can get there. I think had he led him more, the other safety would have KO'd him. But to me, that was a perfect throw. Perfect throw. Let's finish on this one right here. And again, he has all the traits that you want in a QB. All the traits that you want in a new modern QB. Like this scramble drill. He's going to get this ball up. And I put it on here, but it was pass interference. But in the college game, pass interference on the 15 yards. And this ball would have been stopped at maybe the 35. In NFL, this ball is on the other 30. And he threw that ball 55 yards on the run. 55 yards on the run. And again, putting this on here because these are big plays in the NFL. You get that, get away from that guy, and you get your guy going downfield and scramble drill. That's a 60-yard gain in the NFL because you see the flag come out. In college, it's 15, but in the NFL, that's a 60-yard gain, and those kind of plays changes games all the time. But let's get into the score for C.J. Stroud. So on arm talent, he has a 70 out of 80. Touch, he has a 70 out of 80. IQ, he has a 74 out of 80. Extending plays, he has a 73 out of 80. And his pocket presence, which is his best attribute I have for him, he has a 75 out of 80, which puts him at a total score of 72.4, which is ironically the same score I have for Bryce Young. The same exact score I have for Bryce Young. Even though the numbers match they don't match in spots, it's the same exact total score that I have for Bryce Young. Just raw eye looking at the tape from CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. Yeah, I know Bryce Young played in the SEC. And I know they got the same score, but I think CJ Stroud is better. And yeah, again, y'all know I got an SEC bias, but just from looking at both of these guys' tapes, I think CJ Stroud is better. For one, he's bigger. And bigger don't always mean something, but he's 6'3". He can see over some of those NFL linemen. Bryce is 6 feet. He's thicker. He weighs more. He may be able to take a little bit more punishment than Bryce. But then when you get aside from size, both of them do similar things on the field. And for CJ to do what he did to Georgia and on the biggest stage and against his best competition, that lets me know that even if he was in the SEC, he would have been doing this on a regular also. And it's tough for me to go against CJ Stroud, man. And even though Bryce is good, and just from y'all decide. Tell me what y'all think. Who's better in your opinion? Bryce or CJ Stroud. But I know Will Levis ain't in the competition with these two cats. It's these two, and then we'll start talking about everybody else. But better tell me what you think in the comment section. And if you made it this far, put #7 in the comment section. And thank you guys for coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And again, before you leave, like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to be here when more drop. And hit that bell so you can be notified when they do drop. This is Coach Evans with more Sip the Tally. Peace, y'all. See y'all soon.